crews are ready. The Warrior is headed into the wind at better than 20 knots. It's a tense business sending squadrons up from a carrier's decks. But the wind is fair and the weather's good, and Canada's Navy has new crews to train.
Clear the flight deck. Stand by to fly off.
The Fireflies climb easily into the sky over the broad blue waters of the Caribbean. HMCS Warrior and the destroyers Nootka and Crescent out of Halifax, southward bound. Their destination, Esquimalt via the Panama Canal. The winter off Canada's Atlantic shore affords little opportunity for carrier training, but the good weather waters that lie ahead on this training cruise will see aircraft in the air almost every day. And at the trip's end, Canada's first aircraft carrier will be a trained and effective unit of the air power essential to a modern fleet. The signal flags come in and go up again with their new message, calling the Plain Guard destroyer to position astern, ready to help should a practice landing go amiss. For the flight deck is only 85 feet wide by 700 feet long, only 50 feet above the water.
Flight deck clear for landing.
Hooked, wheeled, and flat. Down.
The batsman brings them in. His yellow discs guide their hands on the controls as they ease down onto this tiny island on a rolling sea. The heavy arrestor wires stop the aircraft in from 40 to 50 feet. They snake back fast once they're disengaged, and you clear the decks quickly for the next aircraft, for in good form, one lands on every 30 seconds. When the smoke of the signal pistol trails out from the port quarter, it means go round again, make another approach. Land's in sight, and 1,000 officers and men of the ship's company are looking forward to a stay in port. The last aircraft's in, the wings folded back, and the Fireflies go below to the hangar deck.
Captain will speak to the ship's company.
You will be given shore leave during your stay in this port, and there are some important things to remember. You are ambassadors of Canada, and you're expected to conduct yourselves in such a way that you will not jeopardize the goodwill and prestige in which we are now held. Be good diplomats. Remember, at all times.
Past Port Royal, Henry Morgan's one-time pirate fort, and into harbor at Kingston, Jamaica. bumboats come out loaded down with curios. And the Dobie women who'll take your washing and deliver it back. The captain goes ashore first to pay official calls, and the entire ship readies for shore leave. It's good to be at sea, but the land under your feet feels good too. With watches to stand, not everyone gets ashore, of course, but a good game of deck hockey isn't so bad, and it'll be your turn next time.
Rise and shine. Ship away at 0800.
The Fireflies take off from a standing start for a thanks and farewell to Kingston as the fleet heads out to sea. The destroyers refuel from the carrier. As part of the exercise, all refueling is done at sea in all kinds of weather. In smooth seas, the operation is done at cruising speed. Bombing and gunnery practice is a regular item of a training cruise. The Fireflies carry cannon, rockets, and bombs.
Pilots, man your aircraft.
The ship's own protective armament uses the Fireflies as targets, firing a safe 30 degrees off the wingtips. In her wake, the carrier tows a splash target for the rockets and bombs of the aircraft. Some takeoffs are by catapult, which doesn't require heading the carrier into the wind. The Fireflies are now the attackers. The targets for their rockets and bombs are below, and they are the enemy, the practice targets of the ship's guns.
Aircraft in sight.
Aircraft in sight.
All guns ready to open fire, sir.
Bearing green 30.
Angle of sight 20.
Angle of sight 20.
All guns ready to open fire, sir.
On target. Open fire.
The flying day begins early and ends early in the heat of the tropic sun. But every flying day the training goes on to bring this complex machine to top operating trim. Next stop, Panama, and through the canal to the Pacific with Esquimalt at the end of this cruise that has sought out training weather in the middle of the Canadian winter for the first unit of the Fleet Air Power of the Royal Canadian Navy.